Hey everybody, this is On Screen, Off Screen, a show where we like to talk about how we are impacted by our weekly media and how our weekly media is impacted by us. Today I have a very, very special episode planned. Konlin and Lauren know nothing about this. Um, and for me, this whole episode is inspired by the theme is Konlin. That's why I'm wearing his favorite shirt of all time. Is just for him. And honestly, the timing of this could not have worked out better because this week is Conlin's birthday as well. I didn't plan that, but when I pulled up my calendar, it said Conlin's birthday, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what a thing! Um,
What a thing.
what a thing!
That's
This
a
What
is
a
like
thing.
thing.
the timing is just like very, very great. This was inspired because a few weeks ago, Conlin wanted to understand me better, so he went and watched Godzilla, a bunch of them. Uh, I was, I thought that was awesome of him to do. Um, I wanted to do something similar, and I was thinking, and I was thinking, and I was like, Conlin doesn't really have like a specific franchise that is like for him. So I went through and I looked back at his top 10 and honorable mentions from last year, and I watched 95% of this content
Wow.
in the last week and a half. So, not all of it is from that list. Some of it is just stuff he has spoken very highly to me about. Um, I have it separated into types. So we're going to get started with books. There's just two of them. Um, the first one is The Ritualist. So, what I would like to do is, Conlin, if you would give your rating on a scale of 1 to 10, a brief little like what this thing means to you, and then predict what you think I will rate it. And Lauren, just chime in with any questions, give your input and feedback for the stuff that you can, okay?
I was gonna say, should I leave the room? Like,
Nah, nah. This is cool. This is very cool. So The Ritualist to me is my favorite like fun series. It is just fun for me. And I think the actual writing of the books is like a 7 if I'm being honest, but my enjoyment of this series is a solid like 9.5. I will listen to it again and again and again. The last book came out a month ago and I've listened to it 5 times. um I just I just have so much fun with the way that he writes this. I have fun with the characters. There's nothing that bogs me down. I like how the world works. I met the author one time and he keeps spreadsheets and spreadsheets and spreadsheets of how everything works, all the abilities. He makes sure that everything is tracked. That way it all connects well and it all has a semblance of reality with the world that he's creating. And I love this series. I think it is so much fun. I like the way that the reader reads it. You, I think, will like this series, but you probably won't find as much enjoyment as me. So I wanted to say like a 7.5. That's my
Okay.
thought.
Okay, and what would you average yours? You said writing's a 7, enjoyment's a 9. Overall, what is it to you?
I I give it a 9 because of how much I enjoy the series.
Okay.
I've re-listened to this a ridiculous amount of times.
Okay, so my first question for you is, what is your favorite book from this series?
My favorite book of this series is Ruthless, which is book 5, I believe. Um, and he goes to different segments and you go to different worlds, and this is the last part of that first world you get introduced to in that first book. That book is my favorite one.
Okay, okay. I love this book. I love how the
Yeah.
reason for him to join this world is like he's a war medic. He gets injured. He goes into a coma for a long time. He loses his legs. And during that time, his wife files for an annulment. And he wakes up from this coma and gets absolutely dumped on by life. And you totally buy that he's willing to give up his body. You totally buy that he's willing to full dive into this game full time. because of the way that the corporation has very obviously preyed on that intentionally. Um, and I'm very excited to see how that all works out. The first book is just introducing everything. Um, but I love the AI. I love that it's very subtle changes that we've seen all the way through the book. Like, only slightly snarky remarks and stuff, but enough to let you know that there is kind of some change going on with how that's working. I love the side characters. I love how they all feel like they're doing their own thing and have their own things going on, and they're not just kind of there to progress the plot. I love the system for Joe is kind of like it's dumb and it's overpowered, but not in a egregious way, and it is in a fun way. Um, I wish my note is I wish people in real life had the bathing thing because then going to like movie theaters wouldn't be so awful for me. Um, the OP is balanced by the character's own incompetence, which is good. Like Joe is not like this. I'm great at everything. I'm planning everything. Like when you read Primal Hunter, he's very methodical. He's like, I have to min max my character. And Joe is the exact opposite. He's like, I feel like this. I feel like that. I'm just gonna. I'll get there eventually. No worries. Um, which to me has added up to a way, way, way better experience than Primal Hunter itself. So I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
That's awesome. I like that about Joe too. He doesn't remember everything. Like it actually frustrates fans of the series because he gets this. I don't remember if he has it in the first book. Knowledge lore. Did he get that ability?
Yeah.
He forgets to use it all the time, and it pisses fans off so much. He's like, "Set a timer. What are you doing, you fool?" And I like how he breaks the rules of the world in very creative ways and gets a lot of benefit from it, but it works. Like the jumping thing, I love the jumping thing in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you liked it that much. I didn't think you would. I thought some of the puns would kind of throw you off of this book.
The puns are not great, but the fact that the AI makes fun of the puns, or like when Joe gets mad that he thought his pun was funnier than the other character's pun, but the other character had a higher charisma score, like that makes that work. No, I didn't think the pun itself was funny, but the reaction to the pun was.
Okay.
So that leads me to my next book, which is Regicide, which is book 2 in the same series. Do you have any more notes? What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I like this one a little bit better. I think the first 5 get progressively like a little bit better as they go along. The side characters expand more. I think is Jackson in it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was in this book, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jackson is literally one of my favorite characters in anything, and he's an annoying character that shouldn't work, but he works so freaking well. And I love that he has this charisma debuff. I think you learn about that later. And he literally, the AI translates his words because his charisma is so bad into things that sound extremely creepy. And it's just such a cool idea. I love it. It's really funny. It works with his personality. I love the fact that he was this really old man who got to be a young man again. So he has like that old man energy, but he has so much of it that it just pours through the page. I love this series. That one's also probably a 9 for me. There's book 7. I think 7. Book 7 is the only one that for me I don't just thoroughly enjoy in the series. The only one.
All right. This book continues to impress. The thing that has really stood out to me in this one is the way it gives the feeling of Skyrim video game. Right? He just walks into a town and he's building reputation and gaining experience and doing this, that, and the other. And he's getting sent on fetch quests and all this kind of stuff. And there's like everything is a give and take in this book. So like he decides to be the leader of a party. But that means he doesn't have as much time to study and build his stats like he wants to. He has the choice between being able to build buildings with magic or some crazy offensive ability. I don't even remember what it is. And he chooses the buildings thing because he's like, I know this is worse short term, but long term, this is going to be great. Um, I absolutely love the interaction between him and the lady in the guild when he quits the guild and the way that that is all resolved. I love that he accidentally gets a class and then goes and turns himself in because it's a quote unquote forbidden class. Um, I love that the charisma skill is being very well articulated in this book, in the fact that if you have low intelligence and low charisma in high stress situations, the AI turns what you're saying into goo goo gaga, blah blah. You can't understand things, and that's why so many berserkers and fighter class people are so angry all the time, because people can't understand them and people are making fun of them for
I
sounding
thought that
like
was
idiots when it's the
so
system.
clever.
So good, so good. I'm right there with you. I don't think that is any better or worse than the previous. I also give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for reading those. I'm glad. Would you call it? I do think it's the middle grade of lit RPG. Do you agree with that?
No.
You don't? Okay, it felt very
This is
middle
not
grade to
middle
me.
grade at all. No, it's
How? It
very
feels
serious.
so.
You're following an adult. You're not a
I guess
middle-aged
that's true.
child. There's very gruesome fighting. There's language issues. Like,
Am I so desensitized to language that I don't realize it's in it?
they don't use like the F word, but like, yeah, there's cursing in it. Like, it's not nothing.
That's true. It's
Um,
not nothing.
I would not say middle grade at all. No.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Lauren, you should absolutely read these books because they're great. So entertaining.
I actually do think you would also really enjoy this. It felt very much like I felt playing Baldur's Gate, with the
Oh,
way
that's cool.
things are just doing and the classes and the way things are building on each other.
Yeah.
Very similar feeling.
Josh brought up how he has so many different spreadsheets, so he has all of these different characters that are developing at the same time. And I think it's really, really rare for an author to feel like the rest of the world is moving on, and it's not just the main character that's moving, and that world happens to revolve around him. And he does a really, really good job of that. And all the other classes are super interesting. I'm like, it's a lot of these lit RPGs. I'm interested in how the main character is going to progress. What's the next ability? Like Primal Hunter, I like the side characters, but I'm not as interested in how they're going to progress as I am in my main character. With this one, how Jackson progresses is just as interesting to me as how Joe progresses. Like, it's just as cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to move us forward onto TV shows.
Okay.
Coming in at Konlin's number 10 TV show of all time, at least as of last year, Outlander. What do you rate it? What does it mean to you? What do you think I'm gonna rate it?
I actually think you will really like this show. I hope I'm right, but I think you will. The history is quite well done in the show. I love the romance aspect of it. I love the way that they develop the culture. I love the history. I think it's shot beautifully. I think the acting is incredible. And it's one of the few projects where I think the TV show is better than the book. The book gets bogged down with a lot of details, but the TV show kind of sticks to the main story, and you get a lot of beautiful characters, you get a lot of beautiful characterization. This is one where I would have guessed an 8.5 for you. I'm actually probably at like an 8.75 for this show.
Okay. The whole girl boss thing, because she goes to the past and has to fight the patriarchy without being called a witch was very interesting. It was a very good choice. I just found it exhausting.
Okay.
I think the writing is good. I think the actors do a great job. I like the music choice. I love the concept. I watched 3.5 episodes of the first season. I feel like that's probably enough to give it a fair understanding of what it is.
I did not like
Um,
this show when I first watched it because I watched the first couple episodes. You have to get into the past before it's really good. Like I actually didn't like the show. I thought the first episode was boring as hell the first time I watched it. Truly.
okay, I watched 3.5 episodes. I watched half of the first season.
Did they go to the past yet?
That 2.5 of those episodes are all in the past.
Okay, I thought it was more than that in
The first
present.
Episode is the future, and she gets sucked into the past. The rest is all in the past.
Okay. Fair enough then. Yeah, fair enough.
Like I said, I think this is a really cool concept, and I think it's going to work for a lot of people. It just didn't work for me. I gave it a 4.95 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren, have you heard of this one at all?
Is this like the Scottish man that everybody's drooling over?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I think my sister was obsessed with it for a while.
It's a very, very, very good show. And Josh, I guess I'm wrong. I just need to figure out. I need to understand you better because apparently I can't guess what you will like. Because I thought you would genuinely like this show.
There was no Godzilla in it. Come on.
Yeah. There was no destruction of Tokyo. There was no bad writing. There was no weak human characters.
There was romance and history. Come on. Romance and history.
Exhausting romance and loose history. Sure. Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
You should-
Go ahead.
Also, watch this, Lauren. You should watch everything that's on this list. Everything.
No, there's quite a few I would recommend she not watch.
That's fair.
Pushing Daisies. I watched only the first episode. What's your rating of it? What does it mean to you? And what do you think I will rate it?
I think this show is unlike anything else that I have ever watched. I think it's completely, utterly unique, and this is not a show that I would have recommended to you at all, ever. I think the acting is really good. I think it's quirky in a way that I usually don't like, but for some reason works for me in this one. It's just fully enjoyable. I think the writing is superb. I think it ends incredibly well. The ending is phenomenal. And I think Lauren might have actually seen this one.
I love Pushing Daisies.
Talk a little. What do you rate it? What does it mean to you, Lauren?
I would say it's a 7 because I keep watching it and then I keep dropping off of it. So it's not something that I binge watch, and I haven't finished it yet. But it is I really like it because it has the whole the content should be nitty-gritty dark, but then how they present it is this happy, it reminds me of Series of Unfortunate Events. And
Yes.
I really like how that's presented, and I love that storytelling. And I mean, Lee Pace. And so I keep going back to that series, but I have to be kind of in a specific mood to watch it, and I can't binge it, but I always get excited when I'm in the mood to watch it. So that's why I'm giving it a 7. But I think when I'm in the mood for it, it's like an 8 or a 9. So
Fair enough.
What do you each think I will rate it? Just based off of the first episode, because like I said, I have not seen more than that.
I mean, because you
do
said you
like
haven't
series
watched
of
the
fortunate
second.
events. He does like series of unfortunate events, and that is the only thing this show. This show is bizarre.
Yeah, I think
But I
he
like it.
likes it more than Black Panther, so it's above a 5.
Above a 5.
Above
Way
a-
to hedge your bets to about a 50-50 shot there.
I'll give it a 6.5 for you. I think I could give it a 6.5. I would also
10.
give this like a 8.75 for me too. A similar quality show. I think it's very well done.
Okay. My notes are, what an awful opening. The whole dog dying, the second I saw that, I was like, Lauren should not watch this show. Like,
Don't worry, he's still alive.
I know, but like I was taking notes while watching, and I was like, that is awful. My next one is a question. If he brings the fly back that was completely squished by the fly swatter, how come the table doesn't turn into a tree when he touches it?
That's a really interesting idea. That would
Because he's sitting there on the table while he touches the fly. I'm like, that if you're it goes into the later in the future and he's touching like strawberries and they're coming back to life.
Hey,
Yeah.
the table is now alive.
The table
But it's
should
still table
have
shaped.
turned into a tree.
That is an interesting point. And like, you touch a piece of paper, does it become a tree? Like, there's so many places you can take that.
Yeah. I find it very sad that he never touches the dog again. He should give the dog to the blonde girl because that is an awful way for a dog to live.
He has a little hand scratch.
It doesn't count. It is not the same. And the blonde girl even brings it up that it's not the same. In the scene where the aunt might have seen the the niece brought back to life, it's the wrong eye that was covered. So I was sitting there like, no, she would have seen her because it should have been the other eye. I love the premise and the characters. The narrator is very mid 2000s. I'm pretty sure that narrator narrated like 50% of movies that came out between the year 2000 and 2010. It's got to be the same guy because there's no way all the narrators sound exactly like that. I really liked it. I'm very intrigued by the mystery. I'm very intrigued if there's gonna find a way around it. I love the romance. I love that they're different people, but like they still have this history. I love the people that they became.
I'm so far off of my guesses.
Very charming. Very, very charming. You're actually right on. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 just on the first episode. There's enough that it's like, this is charming and it's unique, but also I understand why it didn't go on super long. Like, it's only 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
I could see it becoming exhausting at a certain point, and it kind of depends on how they take the characters to see if they can keep it up. But so far, yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, that makes me happy. I thought it would be too weird for you.
It's weird, but it does it in a charming, enjoyable way. And it's like Lauren said, it's a dark, serious topic, but they do it with such positivity and light that like it gives off a weird vibe, but also one that works for me.
Okay.
And I love Series of Unfortunate Events. Even the Jim Carrey one, I think is great. Okay. Next show is Mindhunter. What'd you rate it? What do you think? What does it mean to you? What do you think I'm going to rate it?
I don't like these kind of shows normally. It's very, very rare that I like detective cop shows. Like, super rare. I usually don't. I think this one is absolutely 100% brilliant. I think everything about it is brilliant. I think it is so smart. I think the characters are so well done. I think the dialogue is incredible. And it's a slow-paced show that works because everything feels purposeful. It feels like they had a direction they wanted to go with every single episode and they weren't wasting my time. Like I said, I don't usually like these kind of shows, but for this one, everything about it just felt intentional. It felt purposeful. It felt Like somebody had a passion project that they wanted to create, and I highly, highly, highly respect that. For me, this is a solid 9 show, easily. For you, I think the nudity will bug you, which is fair. You do like some of these kind of shows. Ooh, 8. 8. I think you're gonna like it. 8.
Okay.
Have you seen this, Lauren?
Nope.
Okay, this is one I wouldn't recommend you at all. It's very dark. It's like very, very dark.
Yeah. It is about a FBI psychologist trying to understand serial killers without having the psychological knowledge that we have now. So it's about that kind of push to be able to talk to these serial killers and try and understand them more. While he's also teaching psychology courses and investigating murders and all this kinds of stuff. You're absolutely right. The sex scenes did bother me. Why are there so many of them?
I don't know. Really
everything
don't know.
has a purpose in it, except this.
Except for that.
It's just like, why? Get it off the show. It doesn't serve anything. But I do love the FBI psychologist trying to understand criminal behavior. I love the premise, and I love all the characters. This is one I was with the shows. I was trying to just watch an episode so I can get through so much of this stuff because I haven't seen so much of your stuff. Like, you have movies from the 50s and from last year. You have horror, drama, like it's all over the place. It's so vast and varied.
Thought you were going to say
It's
Fast
just-
and Furious.
It's so fast and furious. I was just like, I just got to watch one episode so I can get through it. This one took me into the 4th episode. I just could not stop watching it. I absolutely love this show. The sex scenes basically have gone away since like the halfway mark from the 2nd episode. So like, that's good. I hope they keep that up. I will absolutely keep watching the show. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and the only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because of the sex scenes. Like, everything else is so purposeful. I love the music. I love the direction. I love the characters. I love the challenges that they're going through. I love the buddy cop teamwork that they pair up because they have the same goal, but they're very different people, and they actually have zero respect for each other. But they tease and do all this kind of stuff and make fun of each other, and one is the grounded senior cop and one is the new guy who's trying to push boundaries, and it's an absolutely great show. Lauren, I'm going to disagree with Konlin. I think you might like this show because you do like criminal, true crime, dark, mysterious stuff, but I don't know for sure. This could go either way for me, but this could be a possibility for you.
As far as this kind of show, Lauren, this one is, to me, the best. Like, I've tried other ones, and it's not even close. Like, this is my favorite one. There's one that I reviewed earlier on this show that I also gave a very good score. It's my second favorite. I don't know why I can't remember it. The one with Matthew McConaughey. Do you remember which one I'm talking about, Josh?
The one that also had too much nudity that I didn't like very much.
Also had that, which is another problem with
True Detective.
True Detective. That one was also very good, but this one, in my opinion, is better.
Way better.
So when you say like movies like this, is this like Criminal Minds, NCIS, or like what's
darker,
movies
more
like
serious?
Yeah.
I would compare it to Blackbird, but it doesn't have that specific thing for you that bothered you in it. And it is a much more psychological, methodical approach. I'm not saying it doesn't show up in it, because like I said, I'm barely into it. But from what I've seen, I think there's a good chance you'd like it. But also you might be like, no, this is dark and creepy, and I can spend my time listening to Mr. Ballin instead.
Yeah.
I can see it going either way.
It is a dark show.
like sometimes if they're paying more attention to like the actual like killer and stuff like that, it freaks me out a little bit and turns me away from it. The thing that like not that like I'm trying to think of how to say this. I like when they kind of talk about the victims and tell them about like their lives and stuff, and like it's kind of like don't idolize the killers. Let's show like what the victims' lives were and talk about the victims because they didn't like deserve that. And so I like listening to that type of, I'm trying to think of a podcast that does that really well.
Okay. Well, this is not that.
Okay.
No,
This follows the
focuses
point of
more
view of the
on
detective.
Yeah, this is more about the detective.
Yeah.
And it's all about trying to understand psychologically why that person snapped.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because like with Blackbird, another thing that kind of like took me off of that was it was I understood what they were trying to do to show you like with the killer, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit and I didn't like it because I was like, I know people. Not I don't know a murderer, but I know like people that people are unsuspecting of and they're awful people. And I was like, nah. So I might be interested in this, but
Okay. I will actually flip my opinion based on that, what you just said then. Because
okay.
it is very much like it's in the 50s. There's not a lot of knowledge on psychology. The main detective is trying to interview one of the most prominent serial killers of all time to try and understand him, but the FBI is like, no, they don't deserve attention. They should be in jail because they're terrible. And that's kind of the struggle that they're going through. So yeah, maybe not. Maybe not now. Okay, and for the last show, I have Dead Like Me. Konlin, what'd you rate it? Why? What does it mean to you? What do you think I'm going to rate it?
I think I put this on my honorable mentions for one of the most underrated shows of all time. I guess it's a little like Pushing Daisies, sort of. This is one that Lauren, Josh, do you think you'd recommend this to Lauren? I think I would, to be honest.
Well, what do you think I'm going to rate it?
So, I rate this one also. If it ended better, if it really ended, I would give this a higher rating, but it's probably a 8.25 for me. I think it's extremely funny. I love the idea of the Grim Rippers. I think it's so clever. It's so dark comedy. It's so British comedy, and you like all that kind of stuff. So 8.5. I think you're gonna like the show. 8.5.
Okay.
3. I think he's gonna say 3. Just kidding.
You just saw a reaction on his face, and you're like, he's wrong. It's a
I'm
3.
I'm just guessing because like he's like, well, wait, let me let me tell you what I'm rating it.
So IMDb gave this an 8.1 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 84%, right along with what Conlon was saying. So I actually had higher expectations for this show than I did Pushing Daisies, which did not have those kind of reviews at all. My notes are, in order, what is this CGI with the frogs? It looks awful. It is the worst, like, take what you've seen from Spy Kids and, like, turn it down to, like, level 1. It is awful. And then I said, hey, it's Agent Cody Banks' mom, because Agent Cody Banks' mom also plays her mom. And Mandy Patinkin is in this movie, or show. And I'm like, what is he doing in this show? He doesn't belong here. This is not his... What? I don't like the soundtrack.
Okay.
The ending to the opening episode is bad. I can't explain why I like this show, because I gave it a 5 out of 10, but I am also 4 episodes into it. Like, I just could not stop watching it. But the whole time I was like, this is bad. The writing is bad. The main character is bland and boring. The comedy isn't great. I don't like the soundtrack, but I'm still watching the show and I don't know why I'm doing it. So I landed on a 5 out of 10 because like I can't sing the praises at all. Like I cannot say anything is great about this show. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, I didn't turn it off. I really wasn't bothered that much by it. The premise is interesting. I like Mandy Patinkin. He's one of my favorite actors. Like, yeah.
Okay,
So,
I think this show is so funny. I love the dark humor. I love the dry humor. I love this show.
it's not dark and dry. It's stupid. She gets killed by getting hit by a toilet seat from
And
outer
it's
space.
hilarious.
That's
It's
not hilarious.
awesome.
That's what would happen in Napoleon Dynamite. That's the kind of comedy
no.
that is.
No, Napoleon Dynamite's the worst. This show is
And
so
that's my
funny.
point. That's the kind of humor it is.
So funny. I disagree, but that's okay. Would you? Are you interested in watching any more? Or you're just like, I'm good.
I don't think I will turn it on because I am more interested in Pushing Daisies and Mindhunter
Okay.
going forward. But, like, I'm not opposed to watching it, Lauren. It is very much the same kind of thing as Pushing Daisies. You love Pushing Daisies. You might like this. It's definitely not as good as Pushing Daisies is. But if you like one, you might like it. I honestly recommend watching the opening scene just to see those awful, awful frogs. Like, why is that even in there, Konlin? Why is that scene in there?
Why was that
It
a director
doesn't have
choice that you
anything
made?
to do with this kind of show. It's kind of there, and you're like, what the freak am I watching? And then we just go do something else, and it's like, okay, what kind of acid trip did I just start this show with?
Basically, Lauren, it's about a girl who gets died from, or I said gets died.
Gets died. Yep.
She gets died.
Gets died.
She gets died real good. She gets died real good. Anyway, a satellite like space station blows up, and the toilet falls from space and smashes this girl.
The toilet seat
kills her. And she wakes up, and she's been called to be a Grim Reaper to take people into the afterlife. And it's got a lot of heart into it. Like, the thing that I love about it is you have a lot of comedy, but because you're dealing with a pretty deep topic, it allows it to get deep. And I love horror because you can get into some deep ideas. And inside of this comedy, there's some really good parts where it deals with the aspects of, like, what is life about? Like, why are we living? Why are we doing what we do? And it adds a lot of value and a lot of flavor to what could be a bland show, but for me, it's not.
Always like covering up tragedy with humor.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this show is.
That is this show. Completely. 100%.
That's how I cope.
Good show.
Okay. That was the last show, so now we're going to go over to movies. Of Konlin's honorable mentions and top 10s, I still have not watched Wild Bunch or Highlander, just because I didn't get around to those two. I did not watch Nightmare on Elm 3 because I watched a lot of horror this week, and this one was a sequel. And I did not watch Raid 2 because I couldn't find it. The only one I found was from 2025, and this list you made in 2024. So I just couldn't even find what you're talking about there. Same with The Unforgiven. I found like 6 of them and just didn't know which one you were talking about. So I couldn't move on. Okay, so the first movie I actually did watch that I had not seen all the way through to this point, not on your list, but one you have spoken very, very highly of, Lethal Weapon. What do you rate it? What do you think I'm going to rate it? What did it mean to you?
Lethal Weapon. I think that the movie itself is like a 7.8 is probably around where I'd put it. But as a whole, one, there's nostalgia for me. I watched these since I was a kid. And I think as a series, it deserves to be in the running for like best series of all time. Every single movie is really, really good and deserves its spot. And together they create a package that I think is even better than being alone. I think the buddy cop aspect of it is really good. Mel Gibson dealing with depression is extremely well done, in my opinion, in this movie for what the movie is. Like, they do a good job for what the movie is. I like the Danny Glover "I'm too old for this shit" that they use in How I Met Your Mother. Like, it's just comedy. It adds a lot of flavor to the character. I think it's got a good 80s vibe to it. I love the action aspect. I think you'll like this movie. I don't think you'll... Yeah, I'm going to get 7.5 is what I think I'm going to get from you. It's just a good ride. It's not my favorite of the Lethal Weapons. My favorite one's probably the second one. But I very, very, very much enjoy these movies.
Okay. Lauren, have you seen Lethal Weapon?
No, I was just looking it up to see if I had, because my mom loves Mel Gibson. So when you said Mel Gibson, I was like, maybe I have seen this. So no,
very good.
I haven't.
Okay. My first note is the opening is completely unnecessary. She's naked. Why? No reason.
It's an 80s movie.
At all.
It's an 80s action movie.
That's not a good excuse. There are plenty of 80s action movies where there's no nudity. Much less this girl
Not
who
the
is
good ones.
laying on a balcony, laying on her back, moaning and moving for no reason. And then she goes and does crack and then jumps off a building. How much of that did I need to know? That she does crack and that she jumped off a building. Did I need to know anything else? Did I need to see her do weirdo sex moves that are clearly there because she's naked and was like, this is going to be a selling point for teenage boys? I have a question with her death as well. They come back and the coroner said she didn't die from the fall because she was poisoned first. Or no, she died from the fall, but she was also poisoned. So here's my question. If you are poisoned, but then commit suicide before the poison kills you, can you still be charged for murder because the poison did kill her?
That's interesting.
Attempted murder.
Attempted murder for sure.
But
they charged the guy for murder.
I don't know.
And it's like, no, she committed suicide.
I mean,
she 100% made that choice on her own.
Unless the poison affected her mind and that
make her kill herself.
But it didn't because it was the crack.
That's true.
Which is also a poison.
But not the poison that killed her. Or was going to kill her.
That is an interesting question. I don't know.
The scene where they jump off the building and there's very clearly a magnet between the chains because the chains don't quite touch, but they try and touch each other the whole way down. I found very, very funny. The take my gun and be my guest really bothered me as a scene. So Lauren, in this scene, the older, gruffy, what's his name?
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover gives Mel Gibson, a suspected suicidal person, his gun and says, "Take my gun and kill yourself."
Fun.
And so Mel Gibson takes the gun, puts it in his mouth, and pulls the trigger. And the only reason Mel Gibson doesn't blow his own head off is because Danny Glover sticks his thumb between the hammer and the trigger and the igniter. The next scene is Danny Glover on the phone talking to HR, and he says, quote, "So you're saying I should worry?" That wasn't just apparent to you, you dumbass. How are you a detective? A guy pulled the trigger with a gun in his mouth, and you have to talk to HR and be like, are you sure that's concerning behavior? What are you talking about? And that's my general mood to this entire movie. I found the whole thing extremely exhausting, where
Really?
both people are completely incompetent and doing stupid stuff all the way through. My rating for it is a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not enjoy this at all, which is sad because I do like Mel Gibson.
That
But
is surprising to me. I didn't think
really
it'd be that
bothered
low.
me.
You should still watch the second one. It's not as... The depression thing isn't nearly as big of a aspect of the show. It's not
I
it's not
like
close.
shows that show depression well. This one just doesn't show it
You
well.
just don't like it?
It just glorifies depression, makes it look like it's a fun time, and people are going to come pull you out of it all the time. That's not life. Just really, really bothered me. Okay, my next movie is Jurassic Park, the first one.
You finally watched Jurassic Park? Holy crap.
Yeah, I watched Jurassic
Holy
Park.
crap. That's fantastic.
So what do you think of it? What's your rating? What's it mean
Jurassic
to you?
Park is, period, one of the greatest monster movies of all time. Period. End of story. It is.
Would you say Jurassic Park is a horror movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It's a horror monster movie. That's what it
Okay.
is. And I think there's just so much iconic aspects to it. The music is insane. The fact that there's parts that look dated now, but a lot of it still looks pretty dang good. I love the weird, like, it's got a horror, but also a childlike innocence aspect to the movie that only Steven Spielberg really pulls off. He is really good at it, and I don't know how he does it. The dinosaurs are cool. The whole idea of the Jurassic Park is fantastic. Like I said, the music is really good. I love the adventure aspect of it. It feels like an adventure movie. It's like an adventure, horror, thriller, all tied in one. You have the famous scene where the water is, and it's just great every single time. I love them sitting in the tree after they just had this super traumatic event, but everything goes quiet and they're still scared of the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are coming, but they feed the dinosaur. And I've seen that happen with kids so many different times where they're terrified and an animal comes up to them and they freak out a little bit, but then they start feeding the animal and they just start giggling. And we just grow up and we stay as, we're just humans. And the more that you see people as just humans, you see them sometimes as these little kids that have grown up. And you have these moments where an animal comes up to them and they just smile and they can't help but smiling. And you have this bit of magic that's inside of Jurassic Park in this moment where they're terrified. And it's these little moments that nobody talks about with Jurassic Park. Nobody brings up how great that scene is. That make this a freaking masterpiece and absolutely deserves the cult classic name, cult classic status. And it's unfortunate that all the other Jurassic Park movies suck. I see that you were going to rate one later. I'm sure it sucks. But this first one I think is an absolute masterpiece. It's a 9. And Josh, you should be at a 9 on this. I don't know what you're going to be, but you like giant dinosaurs. If you're not at a 9, you're out of your freaking mind.
I'm sorry, but do these dinosaurs blast radiation from their mouth?
There's more of them, so it's fine.
Okay, Laura, you've obviously seen this one too. What's it mean to you? What do you rate it? What do you think I'm going to rate it?
Ooh, I love Jurassic Park. I watched this, I'm surprised my mom let me watch this as a kid, because my mom usually didn't let me watch anything. Actually, I take that back. She let me watch a lot of scary stuff. But, not classically horror. Because I would say that the Black Cauldron is scary for a kid. But anyway, for Jurassic Park, I was a dinosaur kid. I remember, my nightmares as a kid was a T-Rex from this movie, but it's still like, I don't know. I have to say that it's like an 8 because of like the childhood watching it, and like me and my brothers loved dinosaurs. We had like, I can't remember what they're called, like the leap pad things that were the books that you'd like click and it
Oh,
would tell you stuff. We had like the dinosaur one, and that was our favorite one. It like got worn out so fast. Um, but yeah, we were obsessed with dinosaurs, and we had like all of the little T-Rex figurines and stuff. Um, yeah, I like it. I like the part that you mentioned of like them feeding the Bronchiosaurus in the tree. Uh, we quote it all the time, like the the password, and then clever girl. I'm trying to think if there's another one. I mean, there's a lot of great gifts too from this. Like where
so
you're just like
many.
turning your head to like look at everything, and like it was such like watching this as a kid. It felt like it was like a documentary. You know, it's like
Yeah,
these are real dinosaurs, and like I want to go to Jurassic Park.
I
I
think that
literally. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one part that doesn't really work to me now is the part where they're explaining like how they made the dinosaurs. It is very, very, very old feeling now. Like
Yeah,
it's rough. They like it's one of the few things where I've been like, you should do a redone version and update this part.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I loved this movie. I even liked the 2 and 3s. I do think the first one's way better. They definitely drop in like how good they are as they go along, but we still watched all of them. And then Jeff Goldblum. It's so funny. I like now that I've seen him in other things, and then I go back and see him in that, and I'm like, this is so weird to see Jeff Goldblum here, but okay. Um, and yeah, I had a fear of public toilets growing up, and I think it was because of it and Jurassic Park. But yeah, so that's what I think about Jurassic Park.
Okay, Josh, I am so interested in what you're gonna think about this one. This is probably the one I will be most interested in what you think.
I'm interested because he didn't watch this as a kid. Like this is his first time watching this. So
Yeah, it's wild to me.
mm-hmm.
My very first note is Jeff Goldblum max swagger while walking up to a pile of shit. Why is that scene in there? I don't know.
Aura
But they were like,
farming.
this is necessary that he maximizes his aura while he walks up to the big pile of shit. Um, there's a very slow opening. I do think it's a good thing and serves to the escalation of the feeling of the movie. Um, I really like the Jeep a lot. I don't like the Ford at all. I don't know why the Ford is the iconic vehicle to the show when it's like this one looks cool. This one looks stupid.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
How much
I
did
don't know.
Ford pay Jurassic Park?
They both paid him quite a bit, I guarantee it. But the Jeep is only in like the opening and closing of the movie. The rest of them are the Fords, and I'm like, why would you ever have picked to drive the Ford through Jurassic Park when you could have the gas-powered Jeep
I mean, it's
that looks
true.
awesome
How
and
many
exposes you and all the good things?
how many
I don't know.
times did somebody die in the Ford though?
All the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
maybe that's what the joke was. You will die in a Ford, but you'll live in the Jeep.
I didn't know Samuel L. Jackson was in this movie. It is kind of sad that I don't think he made the movie better. Because usually I feel like he's a positive influence on movies. This one, he's just kind of in it.
That's fair.
Jeff Goldblum and Richard Attenborough absolutely carry this movie. Without them, this is a bad movie that never works. They are absolutely carrying this movie on their back. My next note is it's kind of sad that the CPR in 1993 looks better than the CPR in 2025's The Pit, which is a medical drama show where they credit themselves for accuracy. Um, it was good. It was enjoyable. I didn't love it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And Konlin, here's where it's really going to piss you off. Last week I gave Dinotopia 7.2 out of 10. So I
Oh my
higher than
no!
Jurassic Park.
Oh, that is such garbage. Holy crap, no.
Happy birthday.
Nope. Josh is wrong. That's okay, but he's wrong. He watched too much stuff last week, and he was having a stroke or something.
This was one I watched a week and a half ago, and I was holding my tongue trying to talk about Dinotopia because I was like, "This is way better than Jurassic Park to me." Like,
oh,
I'll make you feel better, Konlin. I like Jurassic Park more than Dinotopia.
that's because it's obviously better. Like, it's not even. You're the only. You have a new, biggest, hot topic. Period.
Hot take.
A hot take of all time. I like Dinotopia better than Jurassic Park. Blech. Out of your mind.
I do.
Out of your mind. That's crazy.
I do. I do think a lot of that is I watched them both in 2025. I didn't have that. The other thing working against Jurassic Park is a lot of it was spoiled. I think Clever Girl was funnier and better to me, not knowing the context. I think in the movie I was like, that was a weird scene. That guy's an idiot. Okay. Next movie, The Matrix. The first one.
Wait, you had never seen... Oh, yeah. Wow, Josh, you're watching some classics.
I am watching some classics. We are quite a long time, so I'm going to start just reading my notes, giving my rating. You guys can respond to it. Does that work for you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Opening with the numbers was not great. This movie has very short scenes in it, like seconds, that feel like minutes. The opening fight is some of the worst choreography I have seen in a very, very, very long time. The jump with the rotating camera was very cool. It's so unrealistic. He dropped a Nokia phone from the top of a building and it didn't even create a crater in the road. I've got a better deal. How about I give you the finger? Was a 10 out of 10 moment. The thing crawling into his belly button was nightmare fuel. I like the Alice in Wonderland analogy. I was surprised he woke up so early. I would have guessed that would have happened later in the movie. Even I can swim better than that. Come on, Keanu. When he's trying to swim. It looks really good for 1999. The spoon bending scene still looks exceptional. Would you still have broken if I hadn't said anything? Read my mind. Don't hate me, I'm just the messenger as he's killing people. Cypher is a dick. And that is the most unhinged things I've seen a villain person say. 90s really was the peak when we're talking about movies and stuff. Hugo Weaving is a super underappreciated actor. Kiss coming back to life really bothered me. That was stupid. The glasses have not aged very well. I put weird how aviators are the ones that still have stood the test of time, even those are like very 80s thing. But these ones are like, those are the stupidest glasses I've ever seen. Why did we do that?
I agree with that.
It's too bad this movie ended the way it did. I went from the movie's probably a little overrated to probably A little overrated. Oh, so it went from a little overrated, the middle was very good, so I was like, okay, maybe it's properly rated. The way it ended, I ended on it's extremely overrated.
Okay.
So I ended up landing on a 6.5 out of 10 because I absolutely hated the ending.
What did you hate about the ending?
She kisses him back to life, and then he's suddenly magic and knows how to do all the things, even though he's already gone through the lesson of the spoon to know how to do those things. And like, it would be different if it was kind of Inception and the kiss was metaphorical, but it was real life. He's dead. She's like, come on, Neo, survive, and kisses him and says, I love you too. And that brings him back to life. Did they try CPR? Nope. Did they do anything? Nope. Is this a magic filled movie? No. How does kissing him bring him back to life? It just doesn't. It shouldn't. I liked
The
it better
idea
with
is a
him
little
dying.
bit of a metaphor because he is the one, and when he knows that he's the one, she knows that he's the one. When they know that he's the one, when he chooses to be the one, then he can do all the things that he was destined to do.
So why does kissing him bring him back to life?
It's not the kiss. I think it's the I know I have absolute faith to the point of knowing that you are the one because I love you.
But he already
And it was told
had
that
moment.
I would fall in love with the person who was the one.
But they already had that moment.
They had a moment of you could be the one, but
No,
he has
he
to
acknowledges
choose
he's the
to
one.
be
That's
the
why
one.
he goes into the fight that kills it.
He acknowledges that he needs to be the one because of the belief that other people have in him, not the belief he has in himself.
No, but
part of
he
the point.
believes he's the one. That's why he goes into
He
the final fight that
says
kills
he
him.
is the one, but he doesn't know that he's the one. The point is
And the
that he
kiss
needs to
makes him know he's the one.
Of
his
course.
death and sacrifice makes him know that he's the one. Sacrifice is a common
But he's
trope and a common
dead.
storyline aspect in all things.
Yeah, but like he comes back to life. It would be better if he died. His sacrifice meaning something. But it doesn't, because he comes back to life and then is the hero.
He's the hero because he's willing to sacrifice his life, and that helps complete.
But that sacrifice doesn't mean anything if he doesn't.
Yeah, so
If he just has this immortality where he's like, I guess I just get to live because she acknowledged I was the one because she said she loved me in real life.
I've looked at it as he did what was required to be the one.
And that would be sacrificing himself, dying.
Yeah, so what Josh doesn't like is that there isn't a consequence to like him sacrificing himself.
He's just perfect. He is a Mary Sue. He has no flaws. He knows everything. He is perfect in everything, and he can't even die properly.
You can't even stay dead.
Yeah, we should
It really bothered me.
talk about Jesus like that too. Just like, guy can't even die right.
But his sacrifice means something. You cannot compare those two. One is the salvation of man. One is 2 minutes of a movie.
It's supposed to be the salvation of man also. Like it's an analogy
it's supposed to
along those same
symbolize.
lines.
Yeah, I get it. It doesn't mean anything though, because there's no point to it. Anyway.
So, what's the next topic?
Have you seen this, Lauren?
No.
Okay.
But I did
Man,
see that weird scene with the belly. Yeah. Mm-mm.
The belly button is rough. Like it's a rough scene. One of my favorite scenes that I don't feel like it's talked about enough is the part where he's training and he has the woman in the red dress. And I think about that often when I think about distractions, because basically he takes him into a simulated environment. He's like, you know the premise of Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes to a simulated environment. He's like, every single person around here is part of the Matrix. You are not part of them. You're separate from them. And then Neil isn't paying any attention. He's looking over at the woman in the red dress. And he's like, were you listening to me? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? And they said, turn around. And it's Agent Smith pointing a gun at his head. And it's talking about like keeping your eye on the ball. Because everything else is just a distraction. Keep moving forward. And I love I love all the symbolisms and all the analogies and all the little metaphors that are in this movie. I think it's great. But I get if Josh just like it doesn't understand it. It's just too beneath him. I'm gonna go all critic snob.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't get it.
You just didn't get it, Josh.
No idea how a kiss in real life.
You need to be more enlightened.
Dead.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay, next movie came in on Konlin's number 9 of all time last year, Bridge on the River Kwai. I love that there was clearly no cliff when the American guy was shot, and then the next scene is very clearly a dummy falling into a river, and it's like, where did that cliff come from? I don't know. He was running on a hill a second ago. I guess he hit the edge of the map, and it was one of those games that shot him off into the distance, because I've got no other explanation for that. How the hell did the colonel missing one day cause that much of a delay on the process of the bridge? I have no idea how that one sole person working on the bridge would have caused that much delay. I don't know. It's weird because I'm on the side of the Japanese in this movie, like all the way through. I think Alec Guinness is a lazy piece of shit. I love the kite bird thing, because actually when it first popped up, I was like, really? This is how they chose to depict birds in this movie? And then it actually did become a kite, and I was like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of funny. Saito having a pinup girl calendar was awesome. I think that is like my favorite part about the movie. Just his like very clear love for Americans was just great. Not eating anything at the table, the colonel, when he was at the table with Saito, that was just stupid. Like, you're not conveying any message. You're not portraying any kind of strength. You're a lazy piece of garbage human. Just eat when the guy offers you food. I would not cheer that the officers got their wish to not work. If I was one of the prisoners, I would be like, no, you lazy piece of shit, get off your high horse and go start hammering that freaking bridge together like the rest of us. You're a prisoner, just like me. Get to work, you piece of crap.
This movie made Josh Gordon Ramsay. It's like, you garbage eating piece of...
Yeah, what are you, an idiot sandwich?
Yeah. I love that they're like, hey, let's just move the bridge 400 yards down the river. What about the rest of the track that's being built? They just like didn't have any conflicts. They were just like, yeah, that works. Like, no issues. We can just do that. Like, it'd be one thing if it was just a bridge, but it's like a train track. Like, they very clearly have a track for a train, which has a very clearly lined out path. I just imagined that, like, this team gets to the river only to see the bridge way up there and be like, what the
That's funny.
Alex Guinness's speech in the hospital room really makes me hate him. Like, he truly is a scum human being. The guy gets his foot shot and he decides to take off his shoe, and that would have made everything worse. Like, that is the absolute worst thing he could have done. He would have bled out and died, or gotten an infection and died, and yet he's the only one that survives at the end of this movie. Historical accuracy in this movie, almost zero. The only thing that's true is that there was a bridge over the River Kwai, and the British prisoners of war did help build it. That's it. That's the only truth to this movie. The actual bridge was destroyed by bombers and pilots. Has nothing to do with Americans. None of these characters are real. Thank goodness, because Alec Guinness, you're a lazy, lazy man. Get to work, you lazy piece of garbage. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I still really enjoyed it. Even though Alec Guinness is literally like, hey, I know you guys are in the hospital and you're hurting, but like, I still don't want to work. So if you guys could get off your asses and also help out, that'd be really great. And then there's very clearly a bomb on the bridge, and he is a British officer. And instead of being like, let me get off this bridge because the only person who's going to blow it up is the Allied, the side that I am on, I'm going to go tell on him. I'm going to take Saito and be like, look, there's the good guys. You piece of garbage, Alec Guinness. Go rot and die. You suck as a human being. Totally enjoyed it. It was a great movie.
Totally enjoyed it.
That was
very passionate.
That might have been my favorite review you've ever given. That was funny.
I'm the history guy. Like, I was expecting this to have like a ton of accuracy, and like, I have never rooted for the bad guy more in my entire life than to know he was against Alec Guinness. Like, what a horrible human being is Alec Guinness. The flip side to that is the rest of the British guys I actually do really like. I just thought that him taking off his shoes was like a stupid thing to do. Like, even World War II, medics would have known to keep pressure on the wound. Not to take your shoe off. Not to make your foot start shifting and wiggling and be exposed to air and infect. Like, that was a really stupid part of the movie, but the rest of it I really, really liked. So yeah. The next movie is The Descent.
I was wondering why you were watching that. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. How did you know I was watching that?
You told me.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay. The hospital scene, super weird. I hope it comes back around to make it make sense. Did not come back around, doesn't make sense to me, even still. I've been on tons of hikes. Never have I seen someone stop to take a picture of a rotting corpse. That's weird.
That's because you haven't gone hiking with me. Every single time I've come upon like a rotting deer, or it's like, yeah, every single time I go out, there's something dead and rotting, and I'm like, gotta prove to people that I happen upon it.
This one is like growing things and is like super disgusting. Like, that's the kind of aura that you're like, I shouldn't go within 10 feet of this thing. Like, but no, she's just like, let me get up really close, like 2 feet away and take a picture. I was like, I've never seen that. I don't know. There's the scene where they're crawling through this cave. Okay, Lauren, this cave is like barely bigger than their shoulders, and they're like crawling through it, right? Somehow this Asian girl turns around in this tunnel and comes back to save the other girl, and then is able to crawl out fast enough that after an earthquake that they both are okay.
She's a contortionist.
I don't know. There's a scene where this girl is climbing on the rocks above and placing these rock climbing things so the rest of them can get across this big pit. And she is on like the first part and she's absolutely dying. She's really struggling to even just reach her arm. And my comment is like, maybe if she's struggling that much on the first hook to place, that she shouldn't be the one doing this. Like, maybe an experienced rock climber who could like get across without much problems. Maybe. I don't know. And it's funny because there is an experienced rock climber who's the last one across, who very clearly climbs across no problem. I'm like, why wasn't that one placing the safety things? Because like clearly she's an experienced climber. I don't know. I love the cave painting scenes. I thought it was a great way to give us and the characters an idea of hope. Um, why would the one girl lie about going into this cave? Would it really have been a bad thing to be like, hey guys, I read about this place and think it would be really cool to go and explore and discover it together? Why did they get to the point where they were all like about to die and she's like, you lied about where we came, and she was like, I just thought it was cool. I don't know why that's a part of the movie, but it is. Why was the traumatized girl always the last person to cross the cavern, to climb through the tight spaces, to, like...
That's a good point.
I don't know. I figured one of them would be like, I'm going to stay back with you, make sure you're okay. Like, I know you, like, almost died in the rapids. Like, want to make sure you're good. But no, she's always the last person.
They didn't really like
Oh.
her.
I've never thought of that before. That's a really good point.
They always leave her behind, and it's like, these people suck. They're terrible friends. My projector is normally like really quiet. It's never really been a big thing for me. I could hear my fan going during this movie because of how quiet it was. I actually thought it was a good thing because the movie was making me hyper aware of all these little noises and things going on, and it made the things like ramp up and increase that feeling. Special effects in this movie, 3 out of 10. If you want to see what Walmart Gollum looks like, Lauren, you can look up the creatures in this movie because not great. Not great. Every person in this movie are horrible human beings. Every single one of them, they suck. I love how the second exit just kind of just kind of happens to be right next to where the car is parked. So she like falls and then is like light shining on her face and she climbs out and like immediately the car is right there. And it's like, why didn't they just come in this way in the first place? If the car is right there, why did they hike up to the top? And then I don't know.
It looks like the orcs from Bright. Is what they look like.
Sure. I don't know what those look like, but okay. This is the kind of horror movie that will either work for you or won't. I'm glad I watched it. I originally gave this movie a 6.75 out of 10. But the more and more I thought about this ending and the whole what is real, what isn't aspect of it, like, I spent 3 days going like, no, this ending sucks. Oh, hold on. No, I actually really liked the way it ended. So I actually watched the UK version. I don't know if you're aware, but there's the world version that everybody else saw and the UK version that I and the UK saw with 2 different endings. So yeah, update 3 hours after the movie, I'm bumping it up to an 8 out of 10 because of how well that ending has stuck with me. Like, it's not the greatest horror movie. It's really not that scary. I am one who is very claustrophobic in caves. I don't like being underground at all. And I wasn't like having that feeling. It was just like, there's a lot of things going on. It's extremely quiet. There's these creepy things that are very obviously because they turned to cannibalism. Oh, look, surprise, they turned to cannibalism. And that's what turned them into these creepy things. But man, that ending, because the main character is hallucinating throughout the entire show. And then it ends with her running out to the Jeep and getting away. And then there's a scene with her in the cave with her younger self in the fire. And you have to ask yourself, was getting out of the cave the hallucination? Or was her back in the cave with her younger self the hallucination? absolutely loved this one. I gave it an 8 out of 10
That
because of
makes me
how
happy.
well the ending is put together.
I love the ending of the movie. I'm glad you watched this one. I didn't know what you would think about it. I'm really glad you liked it. I actually, if we would have done the guessing thing, I would have put it more negative for you. To be honest, I'm glad that it was an 8. For real, I love this movie.
It's a good one. Lauren, I would actually recommend you give this one a try. It's an interesting one, like I said, and I do think the whole made like skip the first 30 minutes. It really doesn't matter that much. All you need to know is she was river rafting with this group of friends and she got hurt, sent her to the hospital. Ever since then, she starts hallucinating. That's all you really need to know. Um, okay, next movie is Rec in the
Wreck.
brackets. Rec. Let's go ahead and still do the guessing thing. What do you think? I'll rate it.
I think you're gonna be a 7 in this one.
Okay. It's a found footage film. It's not in English. The cam seems super shaky. I even thought it was the shakiest cam I'd ever seen. I did go back and look at Blair Witch 1999 just to compare the two, because I know that really bothers you in that one. This one is actually slightly better, but I do think it should have been even better than it was, because the guy's a professional camera guy. Like, we're following a professional camera guy.
That's fair. Honestly, because he is professional. Like he's for a
Yeah,
news. It's for a news channel. That's
yeah.
fair.
Like, I get some shake. I get that we're walking and doing all these
And
things,
it's
but
the
like,
2000s. It's not modern camera tech.
yeah, it was very extremely shaking for me. I honestly wanted to turn this one off when the zombies jumped on the bed and started humping the air. Um, Lauren, the very first zombie we see is an old lady, and they're approaching her. They called 911 because of strange noises. She's in this dress, and we're walking up to her, and we're following the police, and they're trying to like get um, feedback. They're trying to talk to her, trying to get her to talk back, but her back is turned. And then we turn on the lights. The zombie turns around, faces the camera, lifts up her dress, and starts gyrating.
Lovely. I hate that immediately.
I wanted to turn this off, but like, Konlin loves it. It's an honorable mention for him. Reviews give it 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 82% audience score. It just was not enjoyable for me. Like,
Fair enough.
why would the
That's
zombies do
totally
that?
fair.
I don't know. It doesn't, like, I get hurt, the zombie jumping on the guy. I get it, biting. I get doing all of these things. Jumping on the bed and gyrating is not a thing I would even pick for a movie like Warm Bodies. Like, no understanding of this. Beyond that point, I think the rest of the movie really could have started to work for me if it was English dubbed. But the fact that I was reading subtitles, then jumping to a shaky cam that I can't see anything happening, and then reading more subtitles, it really didn't work for me. I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Okay. I can understand that. That's totally fine. I can see why this would not work for people. I love this movie. Did you find the ending creepy? Because I think the ending is one of the creepiest scenes I've ever seen in anything. I find it creepy as hell.
No, I didn't.
No, that weird zombie creature thing in the dark. Oh, freak! I don't know what it is about that scene. I think it is creepy as crap.
Yeah.
So creepy.
I was not creeped out in that one. Didn't really work for me.
Okay.
Lauren, don't watch this movie. It's not very long, but it is a feeling your brain rot die because it's not
Yeah.
great.
I was gonna say the thing that disturbed me the most about it is the old woman scene. I don't know what it is with horror and old women, but get it out. It freaks me out. They like naked old ladies, and I hate that.
I think this movie just like It has a lot of creep factor. I like that it's the down to earth. Like, this girl's just trying to get a good news report. Like, it feels very brought down to a base level. I think it doesn't waste your time. It's a very short horror movie that feels very effective to me. But I also understand if the shaky cam doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. If the translation doesn't work for you, that's not going to work for you. I can get why this would not work for people. 100%.
Yeah. I do think it's a waste of your time, but like, there was enough in it for me to see why Konlin also likes it. Because like, the girl plays a reporter. Her real life job is a reporter. She does a great job of playing that role, and a dichotomy of how you present yourself on camera versus how you just live your normal life. Like, when she's off camera, she's like this timid, shy, quiet, soft-spoken girl, and then they call action and she like turns it on. She's like
Changes
this great
personas.
reporter, and like, it does play very well into this movie. That just wasn't enough for it to save me, because it was, the rest of the stuff is pretty rough.
I love the mystery aspect, like what is going on. I love the whole building is now on lockdown and the entire apartment and all these people are freaking out. The way that they introduce each of the people so quickly, but let you know a little bit about who they are, I think is really well done. The apartment falling apart is great. But again, I also understand why you wouldn't like it, Josh. I get it on this one. I get it.
Okay, the next one is The Witch. What do you think I'm gonna rate it?
I have no idea on this one. I really don't know. I think this one will be too slow for you, and you're actually going to be a little negative on it, but not like super negative. Like a 4.5 would actually be my guess.
My first note is, oh my gosh, Anya Taylor-Joy is so young. Like, I think that was her first casting, actually. So that was the youngest we've ever seen her.
Was that really her first casting?
Yep. Fresh out of
cool.
ballet school, she did this movie. She is not proud of it. She doesn't like this movie very much. And I totally understand why. That is the ugliest baby I've ever seen. It looks like Jim Rash. If you pull up a picture of Jim Rash, that is what that baby looks like. I don't like the amount of nudity in this movie. It's mostly
That's
just
also
butts, but even when the witch is shown from the front, she's very clearly like covered in gray body paint, so it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. But also completely unnecessary. She can be clothed. Everything would work fine. I don't like the sexualization of Anya Taylor-Joy. She's so young, and they absolutely sexualize the crap out of her in this movie. She is a minor when they're filming this, and she is the only female character with cleavage. Why? I don't know, in this culty, super modest thing that she needed to have cleavage, and why the brother needed to look at it all the time, and why we needed to zoom in on it like 4 times throughout this movie. The oldest brother, Caleb, is the best actor in this movie. He is by far giving the best performance. The fact that I've seen other people in this movie do other things and not him is crazy to me, because like, he's the only one I really, really bought. It's funny that you brought up naked old ladies, because this is the one that has a kissing an old lady scene, and she doesn't become naked or is naked. She's clothed, and I was like, oh, hey, look, Shining. It can be done. The writing in this one is very effective. The writing and directing is good. I watched it. I get the hype. It's not worth a rewatch for me.
That's fair too.
This is my funniest rating to me of all time, because I gave it a 6.66 out of 10. Because I can't give it a 7, and it's better than a 6.5. So I went 6.66.
Couldn't do 6.65.
Nope. It has to be a 6.66. Better than a 6.65.
That's
Yeah.
higher than I expected. It's higher than I expected. Cool.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that they do really, really well. A lot that's also not great. This was probably one of my most excited for watches.
Okay.
The Matrix and Jurassic Park because they were so iconic, and then probably this one was my most anticipated to watch. Okay, the next one, 310 to Yuma. What do you think I'm gonna rate it?
I think you'll like this one. 8.
Okay. Okay, my notes. It's young Percy Jackson. I actually like that actor a lot. Did not suspect to have him in a Western.
Young which Percy Jackson?
The movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Alan Tudyk is in this movie, and such an underappreciated actor as well. I predict Bale's son will sneak out, try and help his dad, and end up getting hurt or dead, or Bale dead in the process. Everyone in this movie is a notable actor that you have seen in other things. I don't like that they killed Alan Tudyk. He should have lived, but that's the choice that they made. This is the first Western that has truly surprised me. I love the bond that is slowly built up between Bale and Crow. I love Bale being challenged by Crow, makes him respond to step up as a man, and I love that him stepping up also makes Crow change his view on in the world. I love that the challenge makes Crow slowly start to respect Bale more and more throughout the movie. I love that Bale treats Crow, even though he's a prisoner, a murderer, an awful human being with an awful past, as worthy of respect. We go all the way to the scene where Bale is cutting up the steak and Crow is being an absolute scum, and anybody else in that room would have not cut off the fat for him, but he did anyway, because he's still a human being. And that vision of integrity and kindness and respect and honor completely breaks Crow's character slowly and methodically throughout this movie. I absolutely love movies about respect, honesty, integrity, displaying honor, being a good man, and the effect that that has on other people in unexpected ways, even ones with terrible upbringings like Crow had, even ones who had terrible past murders like Crow has. For reference, I think one of the highest rated Westerns in my past is watching Tombstone, when I gave it a 4 out of 10. This one I gave a 9.6 out of 10, even though my prediction was dead on about what would happen with Bale and Crow, with Bale and his son. The rest of it, Crow's absolute change in his view of humanity.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is one I think everybody should watch. It is so good. If you like movies, if you like Westerns, if you like redemption, if you like challenges on the way people view the world and what the world is, and absolutely excellent, excellent, excellent. This is the one that has truly, truly, truly surprised me. Like I said, I kind of predicted the ending, but I did not really predict the ending in the way that I thought it was going to happen. The absolute flip was exceptional.
Wow.
Absolutely love this movie. Absolutely. It's phenomenal. Great, great movie. Lauren, watch this movie. It's very, very good. Okay, the next movie I have is Darkman. Konlin, what do you think I'm going to rate this movie?
7. I think you're going to rate this a 7, even though I like it more than that. But I have nostalgia for this movie.
Okay. My very first night is, look, see, implied sex, no nudity. What's wrong with this? Uh, Absolutely nothing. Liam Neeson and his wife have a sex scene. That's not a sex scene. They just imply that it happens, and then we move on. It's great. Have more of this in movies. It's just fine. I love that the Asian has martial arts training. That was funny. He's supposed to be this scientist dude, and they all break in, and he's just like an Asian guy. And of course, because he's Asian, he has martial arts training, so he starts using karate. Uh, Probably a little bit racist. I don't care. Funny. Um, I hate the bad guys showing up in the dark scene. The direction and acting was weird, not terrifying. Shooting the lab assistant removes your leverage, so now he has no motivation to comply with you. Why are they drowning the doctor or so motivated to drown the doctor? I don't know. What does real estate have to do with this doctor's experiment? I also still don't know. Um, how do they know? How did they not know he was the Dark Man? Wow, there was an explosion right next to the water. Then someone washes up on shore with severe burns. Oh, gee, I wonder who this guy is. I don't know. Uh, what the fuck is the purpose of him spinning on the wheel like that? Why do this emergency treatment... Konlin, answer the question. Why is he spinning on the wheel that they throw daggers at in circuses? What is the medical purpose of that? I don't know. The acid trip when he rages is something special. The score is way too similar to Spider-Man, and it absolutely throws me off.
You can really feel the Sam Raimi was learning how to do the superhero thing with these movies.
Yep.
You feel it.
A quarter of this movie is just Liam Neeson's eye with a PowerPoint placing an effect with a font with some transparency on it. That's a quarter of this movie. If he had the warehouse the whole time, why does he sleep in the alley drowning in the rain? I think it's the same warehouse that they used for Doc Ock in the second Spider-Man movie. It looks the same to me.
It might be. I don't know.
Sometimes there are bad movies that have charm. Sometimes good shines through some crap. This movie is plain bad. The circus thing is a thing of nightmares. How did Sam Raimi get hit Spider-Man and to the greatness that Spider-Man is? I will never know, because it's a complete 180 turn from this movie. It gets a 2 instead of a 1, because now I want to see Liam Neeson as Two-Face. There's the scene where he's breaking in the
He would be so
warehouse, and I was like, okay, I've never thought about that casting before, but he actually could pull it off. And then I put, it gets a 3 because the bad guy actually realized Julie... the realization that Julie gave away who Liam was the guy. When that scene happened and when she said that, I was like, oh, that's bad writing. They're going to have the villain not notice it so that they can progress the story. But the fact that the villain actually did realize, I gave it a point for that. Why is the police officer in the helicopter still yelling at them to land while he's getting shot? There's a scene, Lauren, where the villain is in a helicopter and Liam Neeson is dangling off of it, and a police helicopter sees them and decides to chase after him. And he has this bullhorn and he goes, land softly. And then he gets shot at, and he's being shot at, and he's like, you need to land. You're being shot at, dude. If you're that stupid, please don't be a cop.
Hey, stop it. Just land. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Don't. It's just a couple bullets.
Just land.
They're like mosquitoes.
Yeah. Why did the villain not just cut the wire that Liam Neeson was hanging off of? It's back to a 2 because of the villain monologue. That was the stupidest villain monologue I have ever listened to in anything. And then I said, okay, I'll give it a 3 again because the special effects for Liam Neeson's face in the end was very good. When he's got like the tear on this side to the burn on this side, that looks great. But like all the special effects in this movie, PowerPoint with some transparency, things moving around, weird acid trip, zoom in on this clown thing at a circus. My final ended up being a 3 out of 10. I don't get how you love this movie. It is
love this movie.
Just bad.
But it's I think a lot of what you're saying is absolutely true, but I still really enjoy this movie.
It is true. You can't say that this PowerPoint thing is not true about the movie.
That
a quarter of
true.
the movie, a quarter of this hour and 45 minutes is just let's look at Liam Neeson's eye and then PowerPoint some effects because he's raging. Oh, bad.
You really didn't like this movie.
No, I did not. I should have turned this off very early on, but I was like, no, Konlin really loves this movie.
I do really love that
movie. I will
movie.
push through. I will try and find the good in it, and I just could not find very much positive to say about this movie.
That's all right. This is one where, I don't know, I do love this movie. It's got some cheese, it's got some problems, I get it, but I love this movie.
It's not just you, though. It has good reviews.
Yeah, people love
it.
It
has
movie.
Like a 9
classic.
out of 10.
It is an absolute cult classic.
I don't get it. And I don't understand how Sony looked at that and was like, yeah, we're going to give you Spider-Man. I'm glad they did. But, like, how? What is the thought process
It's
there?
that, and then Sam Raimi did... Wow, man, what's his other really big series? Where it's weird that he got Spider-Man. It is weird that he got Spider-Man because he did a bunch of this horror.
He got Spider-Man right after this.
Huh. Evil Dead. Evil Dead? Is that what it is?
He did this, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then Spider-Man 1.
I'm telling you, people love it.
I don't understand that choice. I don't see the enjoyment of it.
Really enjoy this movie.
I'm glad somebody does. Lauren, if you want to have a weirdo Willy Wonka acid trip, but have that acid trip last a whole movie, here you go.
Oh, good.
Okay, the next one. Grave of Fireflies. Studio Ghibli. Konlin, what do you think I'm going to rate it?
I want to say 8.5, actually.
Okay. You both know I'm not really into Studio Ghibli. They don't generally really work for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't write notes during this movie. It's one of the few that I was just watching beginning to end. And I see that as an absolute good thing. I don't want to give too many details away about the movie because I do think, Lauren, you should watch this movie. Because I put this on my everybody should watch this movie. Like, this should be mandatory watching. We have our mandatory reading lists for, like, people growing up. People should watch this movie. It's beautiful. There's a message of hope and perseverance through tragedy. It talks about the costs of war even after the war ends. I don't know that this will make my top 10 of all time, simply because I don't know how much I will rewatch it. But ladies, if you want to see your man cry like a little baby, turn on this movie, because I was bawling. 9.9 out of 10.
Wow.
This movie is amazing. Everybody, whether you like movies or not, you need to watch this movie. Its message is important, and we need a lot more of it in our lives.
I love that, Josh. I completely agree. I think I talked about this movie one time. This movie opened my eyes for the other cultures, other peoples. Opened my eyes to pain, opened my eyes to service, opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And it's the only reason it's not in my top 10 is because it's very, very, very sad, and I don't find myself wanting to rewatch it.
Because, like I said, you're gonna cry like a little baby. It is so hard from beginning to end. There's so much in it. It's so deep. As a history fan, I love it. I don't think it's too culturally specific. There is some stuff in it that makes you appreciate that area of the world, but it's like a message for everyone at the same time. I absolutely adored this movie. It's something very, very special.
Nothing else quite like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you watched it, man.
Okay, the next one is a very different movie, and I'm sorry to take it in this direction. Transporter. What'd you think I rated it?
I don't know on this one.
2.7.
No, I think it's going to be positive on it.
Okay.
7. I think you're going to be a 7.5 on this one.
Okay. My very first note is this just old Baby Driver? The answer is yes. The opening chase scene is some of the worst continuity I've ever seen. Lauren, we talked about the cave and how she somehow turned around in this cave. It is the same thing, but with a car chase scene in a narrow street where you're following along and he's driving forward, and then we cut to the intersection where he pulls out, and he pulls out backwards. Why? Because then he can make a cool J-turn and take off the other way. No idea how he turned around or why or anything, but that he did, apparently. If they really were driving on the sidewalk at 100 miles an hour, there's no way those people got out of the way in time. Those people are absolutely smushed, dead, gone, forever, broken limbs, absolutely dead. There's a scene where they're driving down this very populated sidewalk, and it cuts to the speedometer, and it's like going over 100, and then we look at it, and it's very clearly driving like 5 miles an hour, and there's these people jumping out of the way, and I'm like, they were really going 100. Those people would be dead, gonzo, absolutely killed. The romantic scene when she's drinking from the straw is insane. That is an insane scene. The rope grew 100 feet, and of course she ran. You're an idiot. So he ties a rope around her neck so that she can go off into the woods and pee. And then he's like, "Okay, time's up," and he starts pulling on the rope. And the next scene is like the rope having grown because it's like 100 feet down the hill, and it's like, you would have noticed the rope being tugged that far, you idiot. And then, of course, she just took it off and ran. You're an idiot. Like, that's... What?
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee.
It goes to a... so he goes and runs down and captures the girl and brings her back up where they find 2 cops investigating the car that they left behind. And then it goes into a fight scene, which is the worst Bourne fight stuff that really bothers Konlin in Bourne, but it's apparently really okay in this movie, but even though it's way worse in this one. And it shows him knocking out a cop and then doing a pose, and then both cops are knocked out somehow. And I'm like, when did he even hit the second cop? I don't know.
That's how
We're
fast
gonna move
you
past it. I put a bomb. Wow, who could have predicted that happening? The driving is worse than Fast and Furious. How did the guy find Jason Statham's home, Konlin? How did the guy find him? How did the guy find where he lived? I don't know, but he just started dropping mortars on it, apparently. Because it's just like, yeah, everybody knows where he lives now, apparently. Making up for the complications is a line that she gives to seduce Jason Statham. It is a gross line. Like, I watched that and I was like, oh, that is disgusting. You're in some random person's home. You just survived dying. He is ignoring you, and you seduce him by saying, I'm gonna make up for complications. Ugh. Gross. There's a scene where he gets on a boat and he takes off his t-shirt and then Jason Statham puts on a sweater. And I put Jason Statham must take off his shirt on the boat, otherwise it wouldn't be realistic, because we need as many scenes with Jason Statham without a shirt on as possible. Otherwise it wouldn't be realistic. I love the two-hand punch that he gives. He ties up these two guys and then he goes, whoop-ah! And they both are knocked out somehow. And then I put, he couldn't wear the t-shirt, so when his sweater gets ripped off, he would be shirtless again. I get it now. It was planned. There was a purpose. I love the fighting in the oil scene because it is the most ridiculous, stupid fight scene in probably anything. And then I put, it's a good thing bodies are bulletproof apparently in this show, because he takes this big guy and uses him as a human shield, as this guy gets absolutely lit up by like 100 bullets from a machine gun. Good thing that their bodies are bulletproof now, because otherwise Jason Statham would be dead, and that would be bad. There's a scene where he sees a plane and he outruns the plane. He runs across the country to get to where this plane lands, to then hold him hostage, to make him fly. And God forbid he just flies above the semi for him to jump down onto the semi. No, he needs to have the plane pull up so that he can then use a parachute, so that when he cuts the parachute, it will land on the windshield of the following car. Absolutely necessary. We couldn't have done it any other way. It's a good thing that the bad guy has his CDL, because otherwise the braking scene wouldn't have worked. Like, everybody just knows how to drive semis in this movie. It's crazy. And then we cut to the end of this movie, and there was very clearly 3 semi-trucks full of human people that they're trying to save. Jason Statham is trying to save these people, Lauren. Let me ask you a question. Do 2 out of these 3 semi-trucks matter? You would think so, because they're full of 400 people. But we get to the end, and nope, just the one matters. Just the one. The other 2... they could keep the human slaves. They're fine. We just needed to save this one. The Asian guy has the Kronk ability to get to the hero impossibly. Like, so they save the semi, right? And they park it. And then the Asian guy who just crashed his car in the previous scene is at the ending point. And all I could see was Kronk pulling out a map and being like, It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because it doesn't make any sense. It just crashed. How did he get there? We don't know.
Well, by all accounts, it doesn't make
the
sense.
The semi is absolutely whipping around, and they're slamming on the brakes and everything. Every single person in the back should have broken bones and concussions. But nope, everybody's just like, that was fine. And my final note is, yes, this is just old Baby Driver. 7.5 out of 10. You got it exactly right.
So, I feel bad about this one, because this actually wasn't the movie that meant to be on that list. The movie that I meant to be on the list, even though I do like this one, is called Train Spotting. It's with Ian McGregor.
Okay.
That's actually what I meant to have on there. But
okay.
I'm glad you watched this one, because I also do still like this movie.
Okay. That makes sense. I was like, how did this end up in his
I was like,
mentions?
I was like, why did I add this? And I was looking at the list because Memento we rewatched, and I loved that movie when I first watched it, but it completely, like, it would not be on this anymore. Would be gone.
Yeah.
This one I was like, I mean, I like this movie, but why did it get on this list? I don't know. It's Train Spotting. That's what I meant to be on this list.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Train Spotting is a very Ian McGregor, very cult classic show about drugs that is really good. Okay, anyway, sorry for making you watch something. that one was
I'm
my
glad
bad.
I watched it. I love Baby Driver. Would I rather watch Baby Driver than this one? Yes, absolutely.
Baby Driver is better.
Times.
Baby Driver is better than this one.
You
but
know,
I still
Jason
like this movie.
Statham shirtless for half a movie, covered in oil, fighting bad guys. Like, that's never a bad time.
Lauren is like, yes, I'm going to watch this movie tonight.
I'm like looking up who Jason is.
He's the hottest man alive that's bald that everybody.
The British dude.
Loves. I don't understand that.
Oh,
British
the not Sharknado, but the he's in all of the like big shark movies.
I know him from The Italian Job. That's what I know him from. The 2005 version.
He is in the shark movies. He's in some of the Mission Impossible movies. Or not Mission Impossible. Some of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah. Okay, I see who he is.
Yeah, he's like
British. Megalodon, that's what I was thinking of. The Meg, or whatever.
Okay.
Because I watched those and I was just like, just get out of the water. Everyone just get out.
As far as Trains, the one we were just talking about, the other two movies, the second and the third one, are also actually pretty entertaining. They're all entertaining movies.
I could definitely see them being entertaining, but not of good quality. The writing, like, I would give it a point more if there was the seduction scene was cut from it, because genuinely I was like, gross. Just don't. How about no?
No.
Okay, my last movie is The Black Shield of Farnsworth. Konlin, what do you think I will rate this one?
I'm hoping like an 8. I think this is an extremely underrated, forgotten movie that I think is great. I think it's a great old movie.
Okay. I've never heard of this before. IMDb gives it a 6.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is a 41% audience score. I did not have high expectations for this. I love the eye patch reveal of the trainer guy, because he's looking down, covering his eyes like this, Lauren, and then the music gets intense and he goes, and it's like, he has an eye patch! And it's like, okay, we could have just walked in and have an eye patch. Was that really necessary? No, but we got it anyway.
We got a peekaboo.
Yep, we did. We did get a peekaboo. I actually laughed out loud. I'm not a out loud laugher often. I am generally pretty quiet. I actually laughed out loud pretty loud when they pushed the nun lady into the water, because it sets it up, right? The boys are climbing over the wall, and I thought that they were setting it up to be like showing their butts to them when they got to the top of the wall. But she just sways her butt and absolutely shoves this old lady into the river, and it's hilarious. If being awkward and quiet worked that well, I wouldn't be single. That's my joke that I made, because it's like a 5-minute scene, Lauren, where this guy who's been going through all these things and is this charismatic guy, but he's flirting with the girl who's the daughter of the Lord, and he's sitting there on a bench next to her, and it's literally like, that's the whole scene. It goes on for like 5 minutes. The fight sequence are mostly very good. There are a couple where it's like, that was kind of dumb. You can tell at the end he missed the mark from where he was, so he's fighting. Right, they're fighting each other, and you can tell that they stabbed the villain too early because he steps forward twice, then poses for the camera, then falls and flips off of it. So it's like, okay, you can tell he just missed the mark there, and he was supposed to be 2 steps forward from when he got stabbed, but whatever. Um, our main character can be seen in 2 different places at the same time during the final scene. Um, he's seen fighting on the stairs on foot as a squire, and then in the suit of armor at the exact same time. Um, I let that go because it wasn't really a plot point. It was more like, I guess they probably just needed somebody who knew how to fight with a sword as an extra, and not like confusing where this actor was, like Ant-Man in Endgame. Um, my only criticism for this is there's no actual way to know if the main character's father is a traitor, because the only one defending him was, quote, away fighting the war in France when he was accused of being a traitor. And the accuser of him being a traitor is a scummy human being. So, like, I was sitting there like, both of these things can be true. He can be a bad guy, and the dad could have been a traitor. There is nothing in the movie to tell me one way or the other, and the whole plot hinges on him not actually having been a traitor. I felt like the plot to overthrow the king there really felt tacked on at the end. Like, they were like, we want to raise the stakes for this final fight. How do we do that? Well, let's bring the king in and make it a plot to overthrow the king at the same time. I don't know how often I'll rewatch it, but I did really like it a lot. I looked into the reviews, and one person was criticizing it by saying, no modern special effects and no historical importance. So I put, what the F? This came out in 1954. Of course it doesn't have modern special effects. And does something need to have historical significance to be good? To this guy, apparently. But that's insane. That is insane to give this a movie a bad score for those 2 things. I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I did really enjoy watching this one. It's great.
That's awesome. I didn't think it would be, you would rate it that high. That makes me really happy. This is a forgotten movie. Nobody remembers it. I watched it on I can't remember what they're called. The cartridge movies. VHS. Holy crap. I literally couldn't remember I was like, what? The cartridge movies. When I was a little kid, it was one of my grandma's favorite movies, and we would watch it over and over and over again, and it's been forgotten. Lauren, you should watch it.
Have you seen the old Three Musketeers that Disney made with the actual people? It's very along those lines. It gives the same kind of feeling. Very good.
Yeah.
What's the name of this again?
Black Shield of Farnsworth. Very, very good.
It's a good classic old time.
Okay, Konlin. I've got 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
The first one was, after I spent tons of time watching these, you do have a franchise that you are a fan of, kind of like I am a fan of Godzilla. But none of them made your top 10 or even an honorable mention.
You're right. Alien is
Alien.
Not on here. That's wild.
No Alien movies. Which is crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy. I feel like I just made a mistake because Alien 2 should definitely be on here. For sure. Without a doubt. Okay. Don't know why.
All right. I just wanted to ask that. And then, this one's more serious. I noticed that all of these, every single topic that I have talked about in this episode, has what I'm calling the unexpected or hidden hero. The one where he's actively hiding himself, like in Solo Leveling, or unexpected, like, rises up. Why do you think that theme resonates with you?
I have these big dreams and grandeurs in my head all the time of like either like proving everyone who doubted me wrong, either in a positive or a negative light, and I think the positive light just resonates with me more. Of being like underdog mentality, told I couldn't do it, all of those different things. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but that would be my best guess because I do have thoughts and grandeurs and visions and imaginings of that kind of thing quite often.
Yeah, I was watching through and I was like, yeah, this one, Konlin loves solo leveling. He's hiding his abilities again. He's suppressing himself. He doesn't know. Nobody expects this person to be a hero. None of yours are like the chosen ones or the very obvious heroes thing. If we jump back to 310 to Yuma,
Yuma.
like nobody expected Crow to be the hero in the end.
No, like Klaus, you have it's fantastic, but it's a guy you know he's going to become the hero, but he's this underdog. He becomes the hero. A Knight's Tale, same thing. American Sniper is an old guy who shouldn't be so great, but he becomes great. The Descent is not really that way, but that one's
It
kind
is.
of
Do you really expect the person with the trauma to be the hero of the thing?
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Right? Like I can go through and I can name like the Ritualist. He is actively hiding his abilities. Um,
Weird. I don't know.
like
I don't
every
know.
single one of these is where they're hiding under. They're not living up to their potential. They very clearly have obvious potential. Lethal Weapon, same thing. Matrix, same thing. Bridge on the River Kwai, same thing. The Descent, Wreck, like all of these are that way, and they're all honorable mentions or top 10 movies, shows, books for you.
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. That would be my best guess, but I don't know.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, well, that will wrap it up for this episode. Lauren, thank you for bearing with us. So sorry that I bored you to death with my such logical, great normal takes like Dinotopia being better than Jurassic Park. Um,
No, I was just worried halfway through that I had somebody intrude into my apartment. I don't know if you caught that, but I
No.
was looking for my pepper spray and something sharp most of the time.
well, I'm glad you weren't bored. That's what I'll say about that.
And
Uh,
then, yeah, that last bit,
I,
I was trying to search an actor. So sorry. I was like, I couldn't find it.
all good. No worries.
all
Like I said,
good.
this was very much a for Conlin kind of episode. Happy birthday, Conlin. Everybody join in telling him what movie he should be watching. And thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.